My Favorite Pottery People. I'm Sarah. We're in the garage, so you know what that means. We're going to be having a Glaze kiln opening, Serafina fire. She's down to, I think, 114 degrees. All I've done is cracked it. I did peek on the top shelf, because you know I had to. But there are some commission pieces in here, so I'm terrified because I wasn't even able to get to my commission pieces sooner. My summer, okay, at the beginning of my summer, my mom had a really bad fall. She's 91 years old, very independent woman, was driving up until like 6 months ago. She gave up driving just because she didn't like driving anymore, not because they made her stop driving. She has all her faculties, all that good stuff. You know, but you see she's slowing down. And anyways, she had a catastrophic fall and wound up with a fractured pelvis. She hit her head incredibly hard with a brain bleed and ended up in the trauma center in Toronto for a few weeks in the ICU. And you know what? She's strong and she's coming back. She's coming back slowly, but she's coming back. She's no longer in the ICU, but she's still in the hospital. So my pottery mojo went out the window. So stressed out and, you know, depressed, and felt a little bit, you know, just lost, because even thinking about losing my mom, I love her so much. She watches all my videos. Mama, I love you. I love you. Anyways, she's doing better, but she's probably not going to be living independently going forward. So there's still a lot of things to navigate. My sister has been a big help with all of the things that need to go on, but she and I have been working hard on all of those pieces this past summer. So please, if you would, send your love and you know, good healing vibes to my mom. I would appreciate it. And you know what, guys? If you still have your mom in your life, give her a hug and tell her you love her. I love you, Mommy. I have a big market coming up here in the Durham region on September the 28th. It's called Fall in Love with Local. It will be held at the Kingsway College. So if you're in the Durham region and you want to pop in and say hello, I will have a booth. I'm preparing for that. But I thought, you know what? Some of you guys have never done a market. Maybe you're inquiring and thinking about it. So I plan, no promises because you never know what's going to happen. I plan on sharing the process. So I have literally a month from today until showtime, and I am behind. But anyways, I've done a bit of filming. This video is going to have some basic kiln maintenance because in order for me to fire this, I had to take care of shelves and all sort of things. I'm loading my bisque kiln. I'm going to be grinding some bottoms. So taking care of glaze drips, you know, when the glaze goes too far, or when your piece sticks to a cookie. I'm going to show you what I do with that. I'm going to introduce you to my new wheel because now I have not one but two. And I have a project too. So there's just so much you have to do for a market. So with that said, see you down in the basement. So I have a project. I've got my fall markets coming up. Holidays coming, faster than you can imagine. So if you're not already working on those things, you need to be. I have a modification to my table back here. This is my shipping station during off-market season, but it's also my main table in when I'm doing markets. It's a IKEA table. I'll put a picture right there so you can see what I'm talking about. going to look like, and I am so thrilled with it. I know it's a simple curtain, but I haven't sat in front of a sewing machine since I was in junior high, like home ec class. So I am really proud of myself that I had this in my mind. I've wanted to do it for a while, and here it is. It's done. I know some of you are going to ask, well, I learned how to make this curtain from a class that I took on Craftsy, which happens to be the sponsor of this video. I enrolled in sewing custom curtains and draperies by Susan Woodcock. Her class gave me the confidence and know-how to make this custom and quite cute curtain for my pop-up markets. Craftsy has more than 2,000 engaging classes in 20 categories, including crocheting, knitting, drawing, photography, cake decorating, baking, cooking, to name a few. Craftsy is your online resource for all things creative. Craftsy classes are broken down into easy-to-follow lessons taught by talented and friendly experts. Their professional instructors walk you through each technique with step-by-step demos and share their pro tips and tricks. You can connect with fellow makers to ask questions, share ideas, and stay inspired. As a member, you'll also have access to Craftsy's live streaming tutorials where the expert instructors share their tips, answer questions, and engage with the Craftsy community in real time. Like I shared with you, I've been polishing up my sewing skills, but that's not all. I've taken some other classes as well. I recently completed Startup Library Cake Decorating with Jenny McCoy. I learned how to make fondant roses, but I think I'm going to make them out of clay. I'm also interested in learning to knit. I never did these things before. So I will need to get some fundamentals under my belt with jumping into knitting with Christy Glass. And I also want to make my first infinity scarf with Vicky Square. Craftsy is always creating new classes to keep you coming back for more. The first 1,000 of you to click my link in the description box, or you can scan the QR code on the screen, are going to get a full year premium membership to Craftsy for $1.49. Thank you so much, Craftsy, for sponsoring this video. It is so hot outside. We have been in a heat wave for the last, I don't know, it feels like forever. So humid, so hot, and here I am in the garage, melting, so I have my fan on. But as you can tell, I've got me some grinding to do. And I'm going to show you how I take care of this mess, because these shelves are really bad right now. And if we're going to be glazing and firing, well, we need to take care of our shelves. Safety first, so yeah. Who knew, right? Who knew you had all this stuff in pottery, right, to do? If only it was just making pots. I'm gonna melt behind my mask, so I'm gonna try to do this fast, but yeah. Isn't this a look? You gotta be careful, folks. See these shards? They will cut you. one of the many unglamorous jobs in pottery that you have to do when you own your own kiln and or want your own home pottery studio. Not fun. And this is why when you are usually in a school or a shared studio space, they don't like a lot of drippy glazes because of the extra work that goes on. You can grind your shelves using the mason stone. This is called a rub brick. I got this at Home Depot. I'm almost ready for a new one because I'm almost down to the little screws. They're not that expensive, but I got mine at Home Depot in the masonry area, and pottery supply stores sell them. You can also use a boat stone. I don't have one of those. For maintenance, I don't always pull out my angle grinder. It's hot and working all that. And I needed to get some of the older kiln wash off. But now I'm going to be adding kiln wash. Before you do any work on the inside of your kiln, with vacuuming or any of that good stuff, and even when you're unloading the kiln, it's really good habit. Be sure to turn it off at the power source. I have a pony panel in my garage, so when my kiln is not in use, it gets turned off here at the main switch, the main breaker here. It gets shut. I didn't need to do that today because, again, as soon as I'm finish firing my kiln, I shut it off at the panel. It's always good because you gotta think of it this way: if you have a major electrical storm, your house gets hit by lightning, or you don't want to fry your wires in your kiln. That would be very expensive. So it's an easy little switch on and off, but off at the main breaker. I'm using my shop vac, which also has a fine dust particulate bag inside, just to, again, not be pluming dust up into the air. I'm also using the brush attachment just so I can get into all of the grooves and make sure any little particles or, sometimes even some of the kiln or the wall, the brick, will kind of crumble a little bit and get on your elements. So I make sure I vacuum all of that out. So I go up and down every single row within my kiln shelf. Now, I learned this little trick from Tuckers themselves. You're seeing I've got my screwdriver and I'm just actually picking out any glaze drips that have come and fallen down, because sometimes glaze will pop off, right? And it's really important that you do that, because otherwise it just sinks deeper and deeper and deeper with each firing. So you have to remove all of those little glaze drips. So I'm going to try to get all of this stuff in the kiln for the misfire. Some commission pieces in here. I just stopped getting my inventory back up because this summer has been a little cray-cray. I haven't been able to do as much work as I wanted. So for my newbies and for my non-potters who watch, just so you know, during the first fire, which is called a bisque fire, your pieces can actually touch because there's no glaze to make them fuse together. If you did this during a glaze fire, you'd literally have an entire, just one piece per shelf because everything would be connected. The amount of stuff that I have here is probably going to make up about 3, maybe even 4 glaze fires that are in this kiln load. See on the display, I am running a 04 slow bisque fire with no hold. This is a pre-program that comes with the actual controller. It is hot in the garage right now. It's humid. I've had the fan going, trying to push the air out. And anyways, I've got as much in as I could. So I got all of that except for this. So this will have to go into the next load, which I've got is some stuff downstairs. Anywho, busy beaver, and yeah, lots to do. Just melting right this second. Okay, so right now I have quite a few pieces that need grinding and cleaning up. My last kiln load, oopsie, there's some of my kiln shelf. That's why I had to add new kiln wash to the bottom of my pieces because, yeah, I had some really drippy runny glazes. This is a bird feeder. Don't even ask the glazes. I literally was throwing all kinds of things on it. I'm not even sure. There looks like there is some autumn purple involved, some sangria maybe. I think there was twilight and birch and I don't know. Anyways, I got lots of grinding to do. I've got some pieces where my glazes dripped a little bit too far. So I'll be taking care of this. I've done a video in the past on how I take care of glaze drips, but I know not everybody goes back in feeds forever. So I'm going to show you how I take care of these goodies. Again, I found out that a lot of my students don't know how to take care of this, and they, you know, I've only had them for the past year, but you know, they had been taking classes for like years and had no idea that you can actually fix things like this or reglaze things and refire and or yeah, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Anyways, okay, so grinding on the wheel. Oh, and if you follow me on Instagram, back in June, see, that long ago, I won. I have insane and exciting news. So yesterday I was so lucky to be a part of Tucker's, their 50th anniversary extravaganza. I went and I did sign up for the Clay Olympics, and I'm going to show you how I did. Honestly, it was such a fun event, and I feel so lucky. I've met so many people, and it was just so fun just to be kind of socializing with like-minded potters. They fed us. Oh my God, the food truck was absolutely amazing. So Tucker's, they went all out, and it was such a fantastic party, I would have to say. Anyways, in the Clay Olympics, I made it to the final round, and I won a brand new Bailey's Bailey's XL Pro wheel, potter's wheel. Fabulous. I won a stool to go along with it. I won a t-shirt. Introverted. I'm a lot of things, but that's definitely not what I am. But anyways, I won an introverted t-shirt. And 6 Amico glazes. I got myself an indigo float, chun plum, flux, honey flux, oops, a fire and ice, never used that one, interested. I got a ancient copper and a smoky merlot. So honestly guys, so I went and had a blast. Yeah. So it is the Bailey's Pro XL potter's wheel, and I love it. I love it. I have a Brent C, which I love as well, and I've set it up now for trimming. So it's my trimming wheel. I got my Giffen grip and all that stuff on there, ready to rock and roll. And then I have my Bailey's Pro, which I love. I find it really easy to keep clean, and that's why I really, really enjoy using it. So, and then I'm thinking about maybe taking on a student or two periodically in the studio for, you know, more one-on-one instruction. So now I have 2 really good wheels to actually work on that. So anyways, so yeah, I got a new tool. So I'm going to ask you to share names. I need to name, you know, I could name it Brent and Bailey because one's a Brent and one's a Bailey, but I want something a little more creative than that. So if you guys have some ideas of what I could name my Brent wheel and my Bailey's wheel, I would love to hear it in the comments. I do read all the comments. I just haven't been responding, and I feel bad. Anywho, yeah, help me out with that, will ya? Thanks. So this is my Frima sanding disc. It is an 80 grit. I got this from Pottery Supply House quite a few years ago. I am due for a new one. I have used it. It's been well loved. It doesn't grind as good as it used to, so I am due for something fresh. I know Diamond Core Tools makes a sanding disc as well, and they are very pricey. I have, from all the Diamond Core tools I've ever used, they're a superior tool, so I may just bite the bullet and get one of theirs and see how it fares. Anywho, whenever you are sanding anything in pottery, you have to use water. I am keeping a sponge and I'm just kind of squeezing as it rotates around just to make sure I'm continually adding water to the wheel head. It's another reason why I love this particular wheel, because of the splash pan. It is so easy to clean up all those little shards of glaze and pot that go flying off. Anywho, when you are using a sanding disc like this, you want to be using 2 hands when the pot is on the wheel, just so it doesn't fling out. Trust me, I know. And just steady pressure, and it will grind away those drips so quickly. You will be blown away. You're going to see how quickly this wheel is going to not only grind down the glaze that dripped off, but also basically ceramic, because some of the cookie was actually fused to the bottom of the pot. It just honestly makes your life so much easier to get a grinding disc. However, you can sand all of this off by hand using sanding pads. I did that for years and years, and then I bit the bullet and got myself a disc. Now this is where I go, but I do use my sanding pads, all my bottoms, because you know it gets a little rough in the kiln. So it's really nice when your bottoms of your pot are really polished, nice and smooth, and won't scratch someone's table, because yeah, that sucks. So these are the sanding pads I was talking about. They run from a 60 grit up to a 600 grit, and I run all of my bottoms through with all of the grits just because I want to make sure that everything is buttery smooth and won't scratch anybody's table. So it's a really good habit, and you and your customers will love it. So many of you asked, and I gotta find a place, maybe I'll put it on my website somewhere, But many of you asked my firing schedule, and I have posted it on a few kiln firings. So I will post it again right here. This is the firing schedule that I use. I will figure it out. Don't hold me to it. It'll happen soon, but maybe not today. Don't go rushing looking at my website. With that said, Serafina fired, and she's now down to 113 degrees. Time to open her up. Fingers crossed, because like I said, there's some commission pieces in here, and I'm terrified because I was so behind in creating these because of my mom, and it just taking me away from the studio. Okay, so I peeked on the top already. I did, because I can't help it. Or you can come and see as I open. Let's bring you in here. Let's bring it down. You're gonna get the first peek here as well. So, da, 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 da. Okay, still feel the warmth in here. So that's my cone pack right here. So you're looking at cone 5, cone 6, cone 7. So exactly a cone 5.5. My top temp is 2170. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. So this got fired. Oh, good. Okay. Glazed this a long time ago. It's been sitting in my garage pretty much all summer. So it is very summery, but I still think it's gorgeous. That is so pretty. So these are my charcuterie boards that I've been playing with. And okay, so many of you ask about the alumina hydrate as well. And so again, it's not mine. I got the idea from Anna over at Anna's Clay House. So I mix it into my wax resist. I use commercial wax resist. I typically, whatever it is, I think I've got Tucker's wax resist. And I just add some food color, and I add a couple of scoops of alumina hydrate to, let's say, I don't know, like a cup worth of wax. So, and the food coloring is just so I can see where I put it, and yeah. Anywho, the alumina hydrate's on the back there, and it just keeps your piece, like, look at that. It is absolutely, I don't know if I can show it there. It is perfectly flat. It really helps. So what happens is you paint the alumina hydrate on the back, or with my wax. I put it on just all over the back, not like covering it, but just swatches. You can't really see it with the white on white. But what that does is the wax melts away, and it leaves the alumina hydrate, and then basically it allows your piece to move on your kiln shelf. For someone who's newer at pottery, your pieces move in the kiln. Okay, they literally move. They shrink, so they have to slide. And what happens are flat pieces notoriously like to crack because they get caught up on the shelf. So having the alumina hydrate makes a world of difference. Now, if you fire in a community kiln, you know what? They have to clean it, so they may not want to do this. Okay, so fair enough. Anywho, but that, my friends, oh, that is so pretty. I don't care what time of year it is. I'm still gonna pull something like that out. So that, my friends, that is Spectrum's curry. Their yellow is the prettiest yellow. Like that, to me, that's a yellow I can tolerate. I'm not a big fan of yellow. And then this, and again, I glazed this so long ago, it sat in my studio on my shelf there forever. And then I put, this is going to be Flex Blossom, which is Amico, and then I did a very generous application of amaryllis, because you know how much I love amaryllis. And then when I paint my flowers, they're different color clay bodies. So this is like so it's on, this would be Tucker's white clay, but some of the flowers I used like darker clay. I think this might have actually been reclaimed clay. So it's a speckled and it's slightly darker, but then I added Flex Blossom to it. So it just shows differently. This is going to be a little bit of, this is a stroke and coat. I'll write it down. I'll put it here on the screen, the name of it, but the peachy one is a stroke and coat. And then it looks like I did some Flex Blossom on there. And that looks like I used a little bit of ginger on the toasty clay. So I quite like that. And I think it's pretty gorgeous. What do you think? Do you think, okay, would you still pull this out in the fall? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Because I'm still going to put this out at my market because I think it's gorgeous. Or in one of my stores, but that's quite pretty. Happy with that. Okay, so this this is all studio glazes, and I'm not going to be able to tell you what they all are. So basically, I was showing and teaching some of my students how to glaze, and then I just brought it home to fire it, because the studio, you know, at where I teach, sometimes the kilns, you know, it is crowded with student stuff. So anyways, I'm actually really liking this particular glaze. This here is called Snowflex, and it's Pottery Supply House. It's very stable, but it's got a nice earthy, and I really like the little flecks in it. I think it's quite neat. And it's a bit creamier if you do it a little thicker. The blue, I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. That was one of my students. I was just showing her how to brush on glazes, because she was brushing it on and just brushing like paint, and I was like, no, you gotta slap it on. So I wish I could tell you what it is. I mean, it was not meant to like look good together in any way, shape, or form. Though blue and brown look good, this is a very stable glaze. This is a stable glaze, so you don't get a lot of movement. And I don't know what the white is, but anyways, I do, and I'm gonna get some of this. I really like this Snowflex. And Pottery Supply House glazes are very inexpensive. So they are a Canadian brand. Pottery Supply House, but you can get them, so you can order Pottery Supply House, psh.ca in Canada. It's called Euclids, EUCLIDS.com in the US. And I know they have a Brazil website and probably other places in the world. I can't remember what it is. Anyways, neighbors are pulling into their garage, so you're gonna hear cars going. The garage door is open. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I'm happy with this. Very happy. Oh, I should have brought you in for this. Sorry. I'll bring you in now that it's already revealed. So, here we go. Now, this tray, this was sitting in the studio for the longest time as well. Oh, it turned out really good. Okay, there's the alumina hydrate on the toasty clay. So you'll see, it just brushes off. It's the finest grits, almost like the finest powdery sand, something you'd find in like maybe the Caribbean, if not finer. That's what it feels like. It's just so delicate. So this, my friends, you may have seen it before, but this is a glaze combo I do a fair bit. So this here is ginger from Spectrum, and then I did a wide band. So ginger is about here, that wide, and then I did Louisiana Bayou about that wide, and then I did overlap with the floating turquoise. So you're seeing 5 colors because that is floating turquoise over Louisiana Bayou, and this here is floating turquoise over ginger. And then I did blobs of olive float, which is Amico, just down here, and I did the same striation on the back as well. So this is a tray. Perfect for markets, whatever. Sorry, perfect for parties you can put out on your table. I still like the blues. I don't know about you. And that is on Tucker's, their smooth red clay. Okay, let's make sure nothing sticks. Oh, okay. I have to piece this one together. Again, I glazed this a long time ago. Okay, so again, so that's the Tucker's, their red clay. And that, my friends, is, I gotta figure this out. Okay, sea salt is involved. Sea salt does this. I really like it. Like, it leaves almost a bit of a textured, like salt. There's a bit of a texture in like the crystals, the way that it flows. I think I would have liked maybe if I had done some of that over here, but this was just ginger in this area and floating turquoise, and then I did sea salt on it because I've done trays in that and I liked it. But if there was texture here, I think then I would have liked it better than the way it looks like now. It kind of looks like a bullseye, or that I forgot to do something here. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. I may need to refire this. I might need to do something here. But tell me what you think. Do you think I need to refire that? Does it look weird to you? I might need to. But I love sea salt, and any of the Spectrum glazes, they look amazing. All right, this is a refire. Okay, it worked. Oh, perfect. Okay, so it worked. So I refired this because there was a tiny crack in the top, so I added more glaze, and it doesn't always work, but it filled it in. So you can't see this. You can see the texture because this particular clay body, this is Laguna 608 clay. I added a little bit more Cirrus Flow. So it had Cirrus Flow on the inside, but it was a bit sheer, so I've added more. The outside is the black stroking coat, and down to about here. I use my finger. I literally squirt it on. I use my finger, I squirt it on, and then literally I brush on the Cirrus Flow up to here, and then that Cirrus Flow, and that's what you get, is Cirrus Flow and the stroking coat. So this is the top of a butter keeper. Let me go in and see if I have the bottom. Let's make sure it still fits. Hang on. Okay, so that's the base. I refired the top. It works. Okay, I'm very happy. Savaged. So yeah, because it was just a superficial crack on the top. Sometimes you get that, so there's nothing wrong. It just didn't look very good. But hey, yes, 2 glazes. 2, that's it. So easy peasy, a lemon squeezy. Okay, so now this, oops. Oh boy, that's gonna require some grinding. You gotta be careful with that. Okay, anyways, I added a little bit too much, so it stuck. That's why you put kiln wash on. I can grind that away pretty easy. I won't be able to test to see whether it fits. So this is the bottom. Now what I did was I specifically made this set didn't fit because it was literally I didn't allow room for glaze. So it was snug. So now I had to remake a bottom and a top so that this will fit into the bottom and the top is going to fit into this, so that I can now make 2. So this is the test. So now here's the, and now fingers crossed. Perfect. Excellent. So there we are. So I got another butter keeper saved. So friggin' pretty. So this is 3 glazes. Okay, curry, Spectrum curry, Spectrum kimchi. So kimchi by Spectrum can be very creamy or very like salmony. It all depends on how much you put on. The thinner, the more salmon you get that color. The thicker, you get this kind of a white, milky, a bit of a green hue to it. You can see a little bit more here. Let me just get that in focus. You can, well, that's a bit of the curry too combined, but anywho, so I had to glaze it the same. The inside is Spectrum's soft white, or actually no, I think that was pearl white. I believe it's pearl white. So I did Spectrum's pearl white, and I have to, well, that you can see there's a bit of clay on the bottom because this is the one that I had, and I just had to glaze it the same. So now these are going to be the mates. So these will be the mates. This is the old one with the new one. And then this one, hopefully, it should fit in there once I trim away all the goo, once I grind it away. Hopefully, fingers crossed, but we'll test it. So there, I'll have a couple more butter keepers are coming. I got a ton downstairs to glaze as well. Okay, so that's done. Now this, oh, okay. All right, okay. Now I'm hoping you're watching, whoever you are. You asked me, and I say you, but I'm not I can't find out who it was. Summer just got mental. Anyway, someone asked me, there's 2 mugs in here. This is one, and there's another one. And let me know through Instagram, because I'm pretty certain that's how you connected with me. So this was one of 2 that you had asked for. So this is my Tropical Dream Glaze combo. So let me see if you can see that. It looks kind of dark in this light. But that, my friends, is Autumn Purple on the inside. On the outside is Flux Blossom ×1, and then Amaryllis ×1, and then Flux Blossom ×1. And that's that combo. and I did my big handles, the whole 9 yards. Is like an older style mug that I used to make. Anywho, there's one. So pretty. This again was sitting, oh, look at that clay. Okay, so that is so freaking gorgeous. Look at that raw clay. That is absolutely bare clay right there on the back. This is Plainsman. It's a Canadian clay, Plainsman clay, the M390. And it's actually quite nice to throw with. It's a beautiful, as you can see, red. Look at the flashing. You're getting almost like a shine here. That's called flashing. And it just is so pretty. Anyways, I had made this. It was just a slump mold. I put a foot on it. I'm gonna have to guess on what this is. What I think it is because again, I glazed it a long time ago. It looks to me like I put Twilight here on the edge, which is Spectrum, and it looks like I put Blue Hydrangea over Twilight. Now, it can also have been Tapenade, but I think it was Twilight. So Tapenade and Twilight are both Spectrum glazes in their floating series, but I'm not sure which one. I think it was Twilight. Anyways, and I want to say, whoopsie, this is focusing on something else, and I want to say that's Pearl White. So on and just with a rolled in texture. So you can see how that looks. I actually really like that. I think I'm going to be playing around with that combo. It's neutral, but it's still fun. And oh God, look at that. And I can grind that away that little bit, but look at that. And it feels, and I can just lightly polish that, but look at that red clay body. It's just gorgeous. So again, Plainsman clay, Plainsman clay M390 out of Alberta, Canada. Okie dokie. Come in. Okay, I gotta speed up so this is not like the longest of long videos. And I believe this shelf is my commission. It's all the same glaze combo, but I'm terrified. Please, kiln gods, please be good to me. Please, 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 please. Oh, wow. Okay, that is spectacular. Okay, very happy. Very, very, very happy. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is a commission job. Ooh, do you see those? Look at those. Look at that color. Oh my goodness. Okay. I was really stressing on this one because I was asked at the beginning of July to do this, okay? And I'm so, oh yeah, 3 to 4 weeks, I'll be done. Okay, guys, so it's all done the same. Okay, good, no cracks. Because again, it's, you never know. So, oh wow, wow. Okay, so I literally, so this Louisiana Bayou, it does not fail. Okay, all of these are Spectrum glazes. They glaze so nice together. And then I did also one Mako glaze on top. And I wasn't sure if I'd gone too crazy with the Mako glaze, but I didn't. So I'm loving this. It's on, this is Tucker's clay. This is their smooth white. And I threw this, and I throw it with a slight angle. It's a chip and dip. And then they come with the little chip and dip bowls that go with it. So this is curry, cactus, floating turquoise, Louisiana Bayou up and over. And then I did blobs along the rim. You can see just I did a little on the top, on the rim. And then I just randomly went with blobs of Celadon Blooms, which is an Amico glaze. And that fired up good. They wanted blues but colorful, and I think that worked. So this guy fits inside. Okay, good. Nothing cracked, because sometimes, like you said, the flat guys can crack. So that guy is going to sit inside, which it does beautifully. And then there is a little chip, little dip bowls, and One is a test because one has a crack. So yeah, they all turned out exactly the same glaze combo, applied in exactly the same way at exactly the same time, but just so striking. I love the way those colors blend together. This is why commission jobs, I'm telling you guys, commission jobs are so darn stressful, okay? In a way, I don't know about you, let me know in the bottom, in the comments below. Let me know. I find it almost, it takes a bit of the joy out of it because you're terrified. Like, so many things can go wrong. Things can crack, anyways, it is what it is. I don't like doing commission jobs, and we'll see if not during my fall season. I just can't, you know, in the winter when I have time to make extras and stuff. But anywho, so that was my cone pack on this shelf. So this one got hotter, so that got to a 6, and it made sense because there were 2 shelves, so it was very tightly, densely packed. So I think that's why I got a slightly hotter reading than the other shelf. Ideally, you want to have the same reading throughout, and my kiln usually fires very accurately, but I did 4 shelves, and so basically 2 were packed together. Okay, come in. Bottom shelf. Oh, okay. I don't even remember what's in here now, to tell you the truth. Okay, let me bring you over here. Will that work? Let's see. Okay, guys. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready? Make sure see, you want to do a twist to make sure you knock off your kiln post, because sometimes they stick to your shelf. Woo! Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So this kiln post, they can stick to your shelves sometimes, so a little twisteroo to make sure that they come loose before you pick it up and have it drop on your piece. These were 2 tests. Oh, so that was the other commission piece. Oh, it turned out okay. Let's see if I can get that off the bottom. Ooh, I might have to tap that off. That turned out pretty good too. Okay, let me push the camera back because I'm feeling a little bit better. Just stressful, you know what I mean? Okay, so that turned out good. I really like it. Oops. So that turned out pretty good too. So that was the other piece that was a commission, and again, I'm gonna have to knock that off the bottom. Let me see if I can get it off. Try this down here. Fingers crossed. All right, I'm gonna just use a screwdriver and my hammer. Perfect. Very gentle, not a tough smashing. So I'm just gonna sand that out, make it nice and smooth, but otherwise, she's gorgeous. So that is the other piece. So that, my friends, is Purple Haze, Pottery Supply House Purple Haze, gorgeous purple. And then I put, I think, about 3 very generous coats because it is a thinner glaze. So Pottery Supply House, oh, that looks so dark in this light, but it's such a vibrant purple. I'll show you in the bright light, but that's such a vibrant purple. Anyway, so Pottery Supply House Purple Haze, and heavy on the rim. So it's nice and thick, almost like I scrape my brush so that I make like bubbles of glaze there. And then I went 2 coats of Fire Opal, which is a coyote. And then I did 2 coats of Flux Blossom all over. So that was the other commission. So, okie dokie. Now, this was a refire. Oh, it worked. Okay, good. Woo. So just a tiny little, oopsie, let's get this off my boobs and up here. Okay, so this was a refire. I just added a little bit more of the pink, which is sunset pink on here. and then a little bit more texture turquoise on the bottom. I didn't like it was too blended in here. I didn't like it. So and then I'm going to grind the foot, that little bit off. That'll be easy peasy. And then this is a little sugar bowl salt cellar, and it has a little pink lid. It's downstairs, so that I refired. I didn't bother refiring the lid. Now, some of you have asked questions about refiring. There's honestly, and they want to know definitive answers. There are no definitive answers when it comes to pottery. Like, it's science, yes, but sometimes I add more glaze. Sometimes I just pop it in. It really depends on what the problem is as to what or how I'm going to treat the piece before I decide to refire it. Some glazes don't like to be refired, so you have to add more glaze, otherwise it comes out like hideous blue rutile. It is so, if you refire it, it is like this yellowy brown. It's not pretty. You have to add more. And I learned that the hard way, and that's it. Trial and error, guys, when you're new. Yeah, anywho, so I just added some more texture turquoise, just a little bit to the bottom. And then I added a little bit more of the sunset pink. So coyote, sunset pink, texture turquoise, and then the lid. And the inside was Flux Blossom, but it started to burn out. It was pinker before, and now it's a little bit more beigey. Sometimes pinks do that. They don't like super hot kilns. Okay, so I was watching, okay, oh, that's a nice fall combo. Okay, yes. Okay, so Kim and oh my gosh, oh wow, that is gorgeous. Okay, this is a test because it was a cracked mug. I have more mugs downstairs, and I was deciding whether I would do this again, but okay. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I'm kind of digging this for fall. I don't know. I mean, this is, okay. I think that's really quite striking. Okay, so believe it or not, the top, it kind of looks the same. It's the same glaze combo, but you definitely get more blues this way. I did take a before and after of each of them, so because I wanted to try it out. So Kim Unseth over at Unseth Pottery, she has been doing this glaze combo, and I saw somebody else do it. I can't remember who it was. I want to say RJM or something like that. And I went out and I ordered the cordovan, and I had birch already, but I've never had cordovan. Both Mako glazes. And then I saw Kim Unseth had done a kiln opening, and she was doing this layering. I think it's been around for a minute, but anyways, Kim went and she said that the order with which you apply the cordovan and the birch, you get slightly different color payoff. So I was experimenting with it. Now, I believe this one, because she was saying if you apply cordovan over birch, you get more of the blues and so on, and blues and purples. So because I did autumn purple at the bottom, which is Spectrum, I tried that application, and this one you get more. Now I see a lot more blues here, but anyways, this was the opposite application. So I did cordovan first and then birch over top, and then I did bands or blobs of light flux. Anyways, I'm digging that for fall. The bottom of this one is, and I probably could have applied a bit more, but the bottom of this is ancient copper, and I might have got more copper color if I had gone a little thicker or a little hotter. You can see here, you're seeing some of it, but I don't mind that, this combo with this. So this is just a soap bottle or lotion, just a small, sitting at the side of your counter, but I quite like that. Anyways, what do you guys think? I know it's totally different from me, like with my pinks, but do you like this? Do you like these combos? I really like it. And let me ask you, which do you prefer? The one with autumn purple in it? So seeing more of the purples and that. I don't know which I prefer, but I do like both. Okie dokie. This, again, was in my garage forever. I glazed it a long time ago. Wow, okay. Okay, so this is on, my Laguna 608 clay. Lovely toasty brown. I use it a fair bit. And I have rolled this in. And I did the blues and purples, which I quite like this combo. So I did, starting here, working my way across and overlaying the colors over each other, but there's 3 distinct glazes. So on the bottom here, this was a blue surf, which is, you can see it on its own here, the blue surf, which is Mako, and then that's purple aster, which overlapped, and then this is a Cirrus Flow. So that's what that combo is. I love the way these two play together. And you can see it on the back. So I've done it so you can see that's the Cirrus Flow a little bit thinner, that's it thicker. So I always do that. I dial it back when I'm, when I'm coming, and I don't mind those variations. And then I had used blues and corals and whatever with my flowers. So this is like a chip bowl or a serving bowl or something you can put on your table and have bananas or whatever. That's what that is. And it's just a form that I use to make it. And some more. Oh, this ran a little bit, so I got a little grinding to do. So this is part of that gift. I made multiples to make sure. So a little sugar bowl with a little lid that fits on top. So it comes with a little wooden spoon. So I have a little grinding to do there. So cute. So again, that same combo. So I just did it. I applied it in a different way. So the yellow, which is curry, cactus, Louisiana Bayou, curry, cactus, floating turquoise, Louisiana Bayou, and then blobs of celadon blooms, and then just the cactus on the top. So I did that one, and another one in here. It also ran a little bit. So these will end up in my whatever the other one will end up in one of my stores. So that's the other lid. I truly belong in the seaside. I should be living seaside. That's all I have to say. And I did a butter keeper as well because, I got a little grinding to do on that one. It ran a little bit on the inside, so I will have to grind that off a little bit until that comes smooth. But it should fit. There we are. Ta-da! Okay, guys. And that's it, right? Yeah. So that is my kiln unload. So a smaller one because I had bigger pieces, but some very promising glaze combos have come out of here that I'm very happy with, that I'm going to be playing with because I have a gazillion things downstairs to actually glaze. So it's kind of some tests here at the same time. So that makes it easier to actually burn through and glaze. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to let me know. Leave a comment below. Share what part of the world you're watching from. I just get a kick out of it. I recently saw Istanbul. I've got UK saying hello. I had Sweden say hello. And it was lots of people in the US saying hello, and in Canada, from the East Coast right across. So honestly, I just get a kick out of the fact that you are here with me in my home here in Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada, and I just love this community. You guys have been the best. You've stuck with me even though I have not been present, and I can't thank you enough. So love you, and until next time. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's free. Come on now. Who doesn't like free? And don't forget to like it. It means the world to me. And while you're at it, don't be shy. Leave a comment. I love hearing from you. Thanks for watching.